Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chumps. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Good afternoon, fellow Fox fans. How the devil are we? Excited? Worried, nervous, all those things mixed into one. Big game today, literally a 6-pointer, because if we win today, we go 6 points clear of Liverpool, and that's no disrespect to other teams that are in the mix. But it's a big match today. It is 3rd versus 4th. It is. It's Leicester versus Liverpool. It's King Power. Our bogey team at the moment. We've not beaten them for quite a while. We'll come on to that later. A couple of messages here from Facebook users. Stick your name at the end. We know who you are. Do or die today. A must win, but I would take a draw. I predicted a draw, but and come on, Leicester, that guy says there. This is Leicester Till I Die TV, and you can get us wherever you want to watch us. YouTube, the channel is Leicester Till I Die TV. Facebook is Leicester Till I Die, obviously the group. Click on the StreamYard link, brings your name up for us. Periscope, while it's here, and Twitter is at Leicester TID. My normal chat chum for the pre-match, Josh, is having to work today, so we've got a new gentleman. Or I say gentleman, he's young enough to be my son, so let's bring him in. He's making me feel very old. Pete, good afternoon. Hi. How the devil are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, not so bad. Like I say, I'm not. I could have done with another couple of hours sleep this morning. The team. We knew there was going to be changes. There had to be. But we've changed the formation by the look of it. We were just chatting before we came in.
Yeah, so it is looking like it's 3 at the back, but obviously, depending on how the match is going, it could go to 5, or like you said, it could possibly be a 4 as well. But I still think it's a strong team.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, we know in the past for Leicester, when we've not put out what we would call our first string, we've always kind of struggled. Newport is not a long distant memory, but the way we've had to play these other guys today, you look at that, and the players that have come in, Amati, he's not done anything wrong when he's come back, and we've had to bring in the likes of Soyuncu. Oh dear, last year he was our first choice.
I mean, I still think that it is a very strong team, so I do fancy our chances today. So I'm predicting a win.
Yeah.
Because Liverpool, they're not at their strongest, obviously. I think it's 5 defeats and 9 or something in 2021 for them. And obviously we're only at 1 defeat in 13 games. So that's why I'm thinking that we'll be getting a win.
They are our bogey team, though, of recent. I was looking,
Yeah, definitely.
and I don't know if I've got it. I've got it here. The last time we actually beat them was when. Oh no, sorry, that was the last. That was the match earlier on in the season. Sorry, the last time we beat them was 2017. We just sacked Tranieri, and it was Craig Shakespeare's first game in charge.
Yeah, so I remember that game.
Yeah,
which but obviously
we all thought we're back.
Yeah. I mean, plenty of teams have like beaten Liverpool who you wouldn't have thought this season, such as like the Burnleys and the Brightons, and we beat Brighton midweek. So like, it is adding up in our favour. I personally think.
A snooze fest, though, wasn't it? I mean, we've had two really boring games, Wolves and Brighton. We've got to play whatever team he puts out. We've got to play better today, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm thinking the likes of Vardy, he's going to want to get back on the score sheet, especially because he hasn't scored since he's came back from his injury. And obviously he was quite vocal about it on social media as well lately.
Yeah. But he hadn't scored, I think, in 5 before that. Inacho at the moment, his record is actually better than Jamie Vardy's. But against Liverpool, he likes playing Liverpool. You've got to play Vardy, haven't you?
Yeah, he does. He does like a goal, especially if that one from, was it a 2-0 win, I think it was, back in the season we won the league, and that volley. Can't forget that.
I have that on replay on YouTube, I'll tell you. Stephen, thanks for joining us. I don't live with my wife anymore. That's why it was. She said I had to choose football or her. Hello, Leicester. It was. You can probably guess who've won that. But are you happy? Are you happy with this? Because I mean, I don't think we ever play as well when we've got 3 at the back, and we should play to our strengths. And I was quite expecting to see young Luke Thomas fill in at that left back and stick to the same formation.
I was expecting that, or Fuchs as well, just for the experience. Yeah. But I feel like that sends a message to Thomas as well, maybe that he's not quite ready to be like a first team player all the time. So like maybe he might be looking to go out on loan possibly in the summer as well, just to get that experience.
I think with all these players, these youngsters that are coming through, they've been given the chance. I mean, I did talk sport this morning, and if you go onto my Twitter at Leicester Till I Die, at Leicester TID on Twitter, you can hear a snippet from the show. And I was saying we've had to play the youngsters because of the injuries. A year ago, we'd have said, "Who the hell's Luke Thomas?" Now he's scored in Europe and what have you. But I think they realise once the big players come back, that there's a good chance that they're going to drop. So, I mean, looking at the team then, where do you think he's going to? I mean, I'm just looking on the BBC, and I know you were looking at an app before, and he's got Amati, Evans, and Soyuncu across the back.
So Evans will definitely be in the middle of that, just so he can like command the whole of defence, and obviously he can sit back if Soyuncu ever wants to go forward slightly. Because Soyuncu likes to run sometimes with the ball at his feet just to play it forward a bit more. And then Evans like reads the game. And that's what's good with having Ndidi back as well. You have 2 players who like know what the next move is going to be. So like they have a better understanding of the game.
Yes. And then they've got again across the middle now, 4 going across the middle with Piera, Tillemans, Ndidi and Albrighton. And this kind of makes sense, I guess, looking at it. And then Maddison and Barnes sitting just behind Vardy. Like I say, if we'd done better and we've had 3 at the back, I'd probably feel a bit more confident.
I mean, what we've got to look at as well, like maybe we are a little bit weaker with defence because obviously we are missing Fofana. And now obviously JJ's out for the rest of the season. But like Liverpool, they've had their injuries, so they still haven't got Van Dijk and Gomez, and Fabinho's out for this game as well. So they've got their new lad Kabak starting and making his debut. But like with the likes of Vardy and Maddison and Barnes, like we're going to be a constant threat to them. So I feel like that's how we'll get the goals.
Yeah, because say good evening. That's force of habit because we've been playing so many night games. Good afternoon. Is it? No, it's still good morning. Good morning, Craig. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. There, I've covered everything there. 3-1 Leicester on the day. My dad would have been 64. Happy birthday, Dad. And hi, Chris. Come on the city. Happy birthday, posthumously to your dad, Craig. I know he was a huge Leicester fan and did a lot with charities as well. So thanks for joining us, Craig, and say a happy posthumous birthday to your dad. But they have, like I say, this is Liverpool. You know, I mean, we went up, and I brought it up by error earlier, but, you know, if we look at last November, you know, we gave them a bit of a good start with Evans helping them out. We didn't turn up, did we? It's almost like Rodgers is so wary and he tries too hard because it's his former team.
It is his former team. So obviously that has the mind game with him. But I feel like he would always want us to win, just to almost get one back over them.
Yeah.
So like maybe he's focused too much on that, and then maybe it's just a coincidence. I don't know, because it is like down to statistics and superstitions that he doesn't do well against Liverpool. But
yeah. And looking at the table, we've got here. You can see that we've got 6 points. Well, 3 points between us at the moment. I mean, you know, there's the old cliche in football. It's a 6-pointer. It literally is today. You know, I mean, and we shouldn't obviously write off the likes of Everton, West Ham, Chelsea have suddenly started to come good. Arsenal have shown a little bit of form, but Chelsea, I say, are coming up on the outskirts. West Ham are still there, but if we can get 6 points between us and Liverpool, I think whoever finishes ahead of Liverpool will be in a Champions League spot.
Yes, definitely. And obviously, it's a chance for us to go into second place today as well if we get the win. So it is a big game between third and fourth. And it will send a real message to the rest of the league, I think, if we do manage to come away with this with 3 points, because they are still a top side.
No, they still are. And, you know, we know what it was like from last year, don't we, when it just started to go wrong and you couldn't do anything. It is strange, and I did the opposition view show last night with Doug, a Liverpool fan, and I was saying, you know, to me, okay, you know, Leicester, you kind of expect it with Leicester. It's a roller coaster ride, and you know you're going to get the bad with the good. But Liverpool last season were untouchable.
Yeah, they were 17 points better off this time last season, I think, or something.
It was, and you know they walked away with the league. You could have given it to them virtually when COVID sort of caused the shutdown. Yeah. But that's, I think, what for me is the thing with Liverpool. It's such a big fall from grace, and as you look there at the recent form, you know, and the teams, all right, they've lost to Man City, you know, and that's the form Man City are on. Maybe you'd have expected a 2-1, maybe 4-1 was the surprise there. But I know we lost to Fulham, but they've got Brighton and Burnley in there. You don't expect a team like Liverpool to be losing those sort of games.
Yeah, definitely, especially as it was at Anfield as well. Because what was it, like 59 games or something?
Oh, no, 68.
68, yeah.
9, yeah.
At home unbeaten. And then to lose that to Burnley, and then obviously Man City and Brighton have done it now as well. Like, it shows that they don't have the confidence right now, I don't think.
There's something happening, isn't there? You know, and
like Alisson as well. He's a top keeper.
Yeah,
but he made 2 mistakes against Man City the other day in quite quick succession, and that just shows where their confidence levels is at. And I don't think I'll be thinking Leicester's a team which they can get back on track with. And I know Sky are already saying that, but.
Sky don't like us though, do
they? No, not at all.
I put a thing up in the group. I haven't got the graphic here, but it was a play on, you know, post-match stats.
I just saw that.
You saw it, how often Sky would talk about Liverpool and us. I don't think, I mean, to be honest with you, the Liverpool fans, say Doug, was actually very worried about playing us. I think he was more worried about playing us than I am about playing them, and that's purely because they have been our bogey team. Is there, in your eyes, do you think, because they say, oh, it's a good time to play this team, it's a good time to play that team, do you think that ever rings true, that, you know, there's a good time to play a team?
I feel like we can't really think like that, though, because when we played them earlier on in the season, and obviously we lost, they were hit with a lot of injuries. And we went into that, and I remember, like, we were all saying that we think that we can win this because they had all their key players out. and we still managed to lose because I feel we went too confident into the game, like too full of ourselves, thinking, yes, it's going to be an easy 3 points. And obviously they came away with the 3 points instead. So I don't think it's right to underestimate them. And we just need to go into it like it's any other important game.
And I'm just having a look here at the Liverpool team. Milner's back. That's almost like, oh God, no, because he's always does well against us.
Like they've got him in for the experience as well, obviously, just because he knows how to make an impact when needed and everything. But I still feel like we've got a strong enough team to beat them, but we just need to be smart the way we go about it and not concede the first goal, obviously.
Yeah, and I think you can not concede the first goal. We seem to sort of struggle, or if we, when that happens. But I mean, we've broken one duck in the fact that we've got a goal from a corner now.
Yeah, obviously, because I know people have been quite critical, especially of Maddison's delivery and everything, especially in recent times. And maybe it hasn't been the best or up to standards, but now we've obviously got the goal from the corner, which we needed. Hopefully, that might be a change in times for it. Would
you stick with him doing corners and free kicks, or would you Tillemans or Brighton? I mean, when you've got, and I love Maddison to bits, you can't not love Maddison, but it is frustrating that, we look like we've changed corners to short corners a lot more now. Maybe that's because we weren't getting it past the first man. And the same with, with free kicks. Should we not be putting Albrighton? He's obviously got a sweet foot on him.
I'm thinking maybe just one side we have Maddison, and then on the other side we have Albrighton, because obviously Albrighton's got a really good delivery on him. But then so does Maddison. But I'm also thinking in the box we haven't got necessarily really tall players who will win that first header and obviously try and get the goal. Like we got Soyuncu, like he nearly got a goal the other day.
Yeah.
But that weren't from a header or anything. That was just a volley straight at the keeper. It's like we had players like Maguire when he used to play for us. Obviously, like he's all known for his like big head and everything, so he'd win those and everything. So
not just his head, if you believe the lyrics of the song.
Yeah,
but we'll gloss over that very quickly. I mean, what we miss there is, and I know this was before your time, but I'm sure you know them. Is a Steve Walsh, is a Jerry Taggart, and Matt Elliott. You send them up, and yes, they could get their head to it, but yes, they got it on target.
And that's what it's all about, really. But what we've got to think of as well, it's not just like attacking corners, like defending corners is something we haven't been good at as well. And that was I noticed that in the cup. It weren't against Brighton, it was the other round as well, where like it conceded but got disallowed or something.
Brentford had got there. I think their first one was from a corner, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, somebody said the other day, actually, and it made me think, are we so bad at defending corners because those that are taking corners in training are likes of Maddison, and if he's taking corners in training like he's taking corners in the match, we're not going to be used to defending decent corners, are we?
Yeah, and obviously I've seen people saying maybe get Under in the team and get him taking the corners and everything, but there's something, and that is something I wanted to talk about. There's something which isn't right with that, because at the start of the season when he joined us, I thought when he did play that he was going to be something really special for us, like the way he cuts inside and everything. But obviously there isn't something clicking with him, and there's something which Brendan obviously knows about, not to start him.
Do you like Under?
Personally, I do. Like when I've seen him play in Cup or in Europe, or like obviously that was like in the first game against Leeds this season when he assisted Vardy. Like I feel like he's been a really good player, but sometimes I feel like he is too selfish on the ball. But whether that's a criticism, because we had Mahrez and he was always a bit too selfish on the ball, didn't really track back as much. So that's what we've got to remember.
I mean, he scored. He had the ball in the net, albeit offside. He made a save out to keep him in. I know if you've ever seen the show, the post-match show I do with Josh, and he hates me quoting stats and what have you. He said the only stat that matters is the full-time result. But when you look at Leicester, and we're obviously doing something right because we're sat third in the league, and I do take that point from Josh. But when it's a team that's having, I think we had something like, let's say, for example, 14 shots against Brighton, and we got 2 or 3 on target. And to me, for top 4 Premiership side, that is abysmal.
Yeah, it's not the best of stats, obviously. And I feel like the game against Brighton was pretty much a smash and grab. Like, it weren't the best of games. It was a very, very boring game. But like, the end result, we got into the quarterfinals, and that's all we really needed to do.
It is. And like you say, the last 2 minutes made you forget the previous 92. Just going back to Under, because I was a great fan of Under when we signed him. And I tend to kind of put him in with Inacho in that sort of bracket. And I've been supportive of Inacho, and I've also been very critical of him. But if I take my fan glasses off and try to look at it fairly, Inacho, like I said, at the moment, he's got a better scoring ratio than Jamie Vardy has. But he isn't getting the game time. He kind of knows as soon as Vardy's, and I don't agree with bringing a player back just because if the player that's in is doing well, but Inacho hasn't been in long enough to do well, and I think it's pretty much the same with Under.
Definitely.
He's only started a couple of games. Plus, also with Under, when he was bought, I wasn't expecting Albrighton to be playing as much as he has done.
And like in previous seasons, I've been quite critical of Albrighton at times. Like sometimes I thought he gave the ball away too easily, and then whenever I was at the King Power, because obviously I'm a season ticket holder, I was always like, Albrighton was always the first player, which would annoy me, and I'd be quite critical of. But he's been outstanding for us this season, to be fair to him. So I can see why Under has struggled to get into the team with Albrighton's form. But then you see the likes of Perez, and I've been quite critical of him this season, but I've also tried to defend him. But I like to go 50-50 with like how critical I am with the players.
Yes. Perez is a weird one, really, because I've tried to defend him, and I always said he's not been playing in his natural position. The stats, and somebody I think posted this against one of the posts in the Facebook group earlier. And it actually was showing that Perez is creating more passes, is giving the ball away more. Giving the ball away less, creating more passes. Basically, having better games, if you like, sometimes than Albrighton. Because he's not scoring, fans seem to have taken against him. It always seems we've got to have one player, and again, Nigel Shearer said this in the group. We seem to have one player that we like to pick on. Yeah,
definitely. So obviously, towards the end of last season, I remember like after the lockdown and everything, when all the games started coming back on the telly, everyone was quite critical of Ben Chilwell and everything because maybe his head wasn't completely with it, because he knew about the Chelsea links. We all did. And everything. Like, obviously he got that goal against Watford. It was a good goal. And personally, I think he was a really good player for us, and I do miss him. But and it was a shame to see him go, but he was a player last season which I think was picked on a little bit.
He's been picked on a while, and yet he was England's at one point first choice centre back. I mean, Justin's obviously come through, and we don't miss Chilwell, and he's struggling. He's not been picked, I think, since the new manager took over at Chelsea. Which
he's been on the bench.
He has, yes. Which I'm sure he's not worried with the money he's getting. But Perez is a strange one. Obviously, at the end of the day, if we were bottom or in the bottom 4, rather than the top 3 or 4, I think Perez, you could understand the criticism. But we are 3rd or 4th, and therefore we're probably more critical because of where we are. But Brendan sees something in him. At the end of the day, Brendan's job will depend on him winning games.
And there is one thing I do like about Perez, because I'm not sure if you use Instagram at all or anything, but he is always the first player to post like a message to the fans after the game, whether it's a win or whether it's a loss. Sorry, he is always the first player to address us and everything. So it shows that he does love this club and everything. But whether he fits in, that's all I've got a question about him, really.
Yeah, and quite often, I mean, more often than not, I've got a gentleman, Mark Chorner. He posts, he does my news posts for me while I'm doing other things, and he always posts things from Instagram from Perez, and I'm kind of like, "Ooh, what's the mood at the moment?" If I put that up and he's had a bad game, people are just going to sort of rip into him and have to sort of sometimes. But yeah, he's committed. And I just think it's for whatever reason, it's his turn, and that. But we're going to have a look now at, and everybody sort of hates this, but score predictions.
Score predictions. Okay,
now,
so
I do on the website, leicestertillidie.com/score predictions. I do it with the ex-Foxes, Steve Walsh, Linux, and Ian Marshall. And so we are having an absolutely awful season. I think bless him, Steve Linux has got one right all season. He was that excited. He actually texted me afterwards to go, "Yeah, I've got one right at last." Me and Walshy both think it's going to be a tough, and we'll get maybe a 1-1 draw. Steve Linux ever positive, although he's been saying we're going to be losing the last couple of games and we haven't. So maybe reverse psychology, but he's gone 2-0 to Leicester. Marshy says it as it is. What you get with Ian Marshall is what you see, and he's gone 2-1 to Liverpool. He thinks Liverpool will still be our bogey team. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for us.
Wow. I will take that.
I would gladly take that as well. Obviously, there's a 2-goal difference there because I do think Liverpool will get a goal at some point. I don't want to say it, but I don't think we'll be getting a clean sheet, especially if we do have 3 at the back. But I feel like attacking wise, and obviously with Ndidi back in the team, that's a big positive for us because we have missed him lately. So I do think we'll get a 3-1 win.
I love the positivity, but I also agree 100%. We always seem to have that in our game that we will let a goal in at some point.
Yeah.
The fact that we've kept 2 clean sheets is quite amazing. 3-1. Who have you got scoring the goals?
I think Vardy will get a brace because obviously he hasn't scored in recent times. Obviously he has been out injured for was it 3 games he wasn't playing for us for? But I feel like he'll be eager to get back on the score sheet, and he's always a goal scorer against for top 6 anyway.
Yeah. I mean, they do tend to sort of give him space. I mean, let's hope the new guy for Liverpool gets a little bit confused and has a bad game. And Alisson has a bad game as well.
I think Harvey Barnes will get on the score sheet as well. I'm saying as well because he plays well against Liverpool. He played well the last game, I'm pretty sure. So,
to be honest with you, he does. I mean, he's come on as a player. And let's not forget it. It wasn't so long ago that he was the hate figure amongst Leicester fans.
I mean, I always wanted to give him a chance because I knew that when he was getting criticised quite a bit because of his accuracy when he was shooting and everything. Like whenever he took a shot, you'd think, "Oh, is this going in? Is it not?" But Brendan says he plays better when he's angry, but he's always he's quite a calm person. So if he can get angry, hopefully, I don't know who he's up against today in the Liverpool team, but hopefully they'll give him a hard time.
I'd be telling Soyuncu to go up and kick him just to make him angry. Just to finish on then, I think it's you look at this and you can see that Rodgers is taking this seriously because we've got a small matter of the Europa League coming up. Yeah, and yet he has gone for his strongest team that he can, even with that coming up. So I think he's taking this very, very seriously.
Yeah, definitely, because it is a big game. Like you said, it's 3rd and 4th, and then we can also go into 2nd place. And winning against Liverpool, obviously they won the league last season. That sends a good message to the rest of the league. So I do think that Europa League and Premier League are his priorities over the FA Cup though as well. Yeah. But I'll definitely be getting a result.
And I know you've gone 3-1. I went 1-1. If I offered you the point now, would you take it?
Oh, a draw's better than a loss. So it could always be worse. So I would take the point, but I want all 3.
Of course we do. Pete, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, definitely.
And we'll have to get you on again. There's plenty of shows we do that you will be more than welcome on.
Thank you.
You just send us a message when we go live. Take care, mate. I hope you're
You
right
too.
and I'm wrong. I'll go
Yep.
for the 3-1.
I mean,
Keep
you'll be
the
seeing
faith.
on the Facebook chat if I'm not happy. So
Yeah, I'm sure I will. It's hard for me not to swear when I'm on this, I'll tell you sometimes.
yeah,
But hey,
I'm
all the
with you on
best
that.
out for coming on and stay safe.
You too, mate. Thank you for having
Cheers,
me.
mate. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye. 15 minutes to kick off. Thanks to Peter for joining us. Our youngest vlogger here with us, and it's always nice to have a different view from us old gits. That all we remember is we're basically when we wore this shirt. This arrived today, so I'm quite pleased with it. It was one of my favourite shirts of all time, but the one I'd got just didn't fit me. I've put on so much weight in the last 20 odd years that it wouldn't fit me. So I thought, I'll have to reorder it. It's coming. Hey, this has been Leicester Till I Die. We are 14 minutes off kickoff. If you want to listen to this afterwards, you can get any of the Leicester Till I Die shows on podcasts, Apple, Spotify, there we go, Anchor and Google. And if you're going to watch this, please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, we'd love to get those numbers up and try and get us to the 1,000. So if you can... if your missus has got an account, if your baby's got an account, get them to subscribe. We'd be forever grateful. Hey, we're going to be back 45 minutes after the final whistle, and we'll be looking at post-match. Hopefully, Julian might be able to join us. Julian Watts, the ex-player. If not, it will definitely be me and Josh. Let's hope we're going to be in a good mood and talking about getting 3 points. Go and get the match. It's on BBC. No, it's not. It's on BBC Radio Leicester. It's on lcfc.com and it's on Talk Sport 1 if you want to listen to it. And if you want to watch it, other platforms available via the internet, obviously, but BT Sport is the mainstream that it is on. Take care, guys. Here's the 3 points. Thanks to Stephen for that. Enjoyable show, guys. Thank you very much. Go and get a break, go and get a cup of tea, get your slippers on, get the telly on or computer, whatever you're going to do. And I'll see you after the match, and let's hope we're celebrating. Stay safe, guys. See you later.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.